Hey guys, and welcome back to Regretsit, Brexit Britain, a country where the people are so thick and stupid they would vote in someone who would quote Kermit the Frog in front of some of the world's most influential people, and would also quote Peppa Pig and make noises like vroom vroom in front of the CBI. Could anybody be that stupid to vote in someone like that? Also, guys, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages you sent me, and a special thank you to everyone who has signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that have signed up, so thank you so much for that. Yeah, I'll go through all the messages, I'll answer as many as I can, but I will like all the messages for definite. So we start with Boris Johnson and 21 seconds of dead air. You know, I'll just say to you people, thank you so much for embarrassing me on the worldwide stage like this. Because I'm telling you from now, yeah, the joke is no longer funny. I never found it funny in the first place, but now it's just gone too far. Because this is a worldwide stage, yeah, and this man is representing us. Seriously. Right, and you know it's really annoying there when I hear people phone the radio and say things like, "Oh well, you know, there's no one better." Anybody in this country would be better than this absolute catastrophe of a prime minister, right? Seriously, if you look, even just look at Theresa May. Theresa May is a stateswoman compared to Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson, right, is, he is the world's worst prime minister, right? Look, the truth is, right, that it would be funny, right, if this was somebody else's prime minister or president, or it would be then it would be funny. But the joke is not. It's not funny. This is not funny. Right? This man is an absolute arse. Right? How the hell, right? You know what it is, yeah? It's like the last thing he's done. He needs to somehow get that into a serious speech. Right? We all know that he's got like a young child, right? And that's probably why he's been to Peppa Pig World. But that don't mean that you need to speak about that. Come on, you're on a worldwide stage. You're in front of the CBI. Those are the most influential business people in the country, right? And you're telling them about Peppa Pig and making stupid flipping car noises like you're a 4-year-old. Seriously, right? This is what we've got on our world stage. Listen, I'm no Keir Starmer fan, right? But compared to Boris Johnson, right, Keir Starmer, I mean, the speech that he gave, right, just slick, exactly what a prime minister is supposed to do. A nice, slick speech. Get all your points out that you need to get out. Right? Don't ask the audience, right? Your nonsense. They're not your flipping cabinet. Your cabinet might act like fucking fools, but they are not your cabinets, right? You can't say to them, "Who's been to Peppa Pig World? Hold your hands up!" And everyone's just like, "The fuck is this guy doing? What the hell are we in a rave? Get your hands up! Get your hands up! Seriously, no, right? You see, because he does that when he's in his cabinet, yeah." And he's got all them fucking idiots around there, right? And they are all idiots, especially when they do stuff like, when he says, "How many hospitals we're building?" And they all shout it out, and you think to yourself, "Are you serious? Seriously?" That is what we're down to in this country. We're down to this type of nonsense, right? Absolute garbage, right? And then the speech, the speech didn't really say anything. At least like, you heard in Keir Starmer's speech, yeah, where he actually like started to address some things about Brexit, right, which very much sounded like to me, yeah, because he said we're not going to be rejoining the EU, right, but what he was talking about very much sounded like a customs union in what he was saying there. Do you know what I mean? But Boris Johnson, seriously, absolutely woeful. Do you know what I mean? The guy. Seriously, the guy. He needs. You know, it's like ever since he's lost like Dominic Cummings. Yeah, you've seen like everything has been a complete catastrophe. There's been nothing good throughout Boris Johnson's prime ministership. Nothing at all, right? That he's done, right? I mean, even now, yeah. I mean, these guys, yeah, have just taken away more of our NHS yesterday with a vote, right? And then you've got this, you've got the social care, right? Which, you know, I don't understand how these politicians work because Boris Johnson, right, has already made them like vote for it, right? And these guys, yeah, it's like they don't know to read the detail anytime Boris Johnson does something because there's always, if he does something, yeah, there's always some way, right, of him fucking people over, and that's what he's done now, right? With a majority of like 80 seat majority, right, and he can only muster up like 26, like a 26 majority, right, which shows you, do you know what I mean, but even so, he's still got the majority, right, which means, right, that these Tory politicians, yeah, have literally voted, right, so that the less well off, right, have to spend out literally everything everything they've got, because they're gonna have to sell their house for their kid. Right. Because even the money what's coming from the council doesn't go towards the 86 grand or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So if you've only got a house, if you've got a house that's worth, because remember there are places in this country, yeah, where you can buy houses for like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 pounds. Right. So if that's what someone's got, right, then all of that is going to go into the social care. Do you know what I mean? Social care should be, social care should and remember, yeah, that they've taken out a new tax on us as well, right, to pay for the shit too, right? And it's all just like, how these guys are. We'll just put it through, and then we'll just deal with all the details later. Just like they've done with Brexit. Do you know what I mean? Con the British public, right, and then. Right, it's okay. We'll just deal with everything, all of that later. As if to say, these guys are, as if to say these guys are dealing with something that's like, small fry. These guys are dealing with this country. Do you know what I mean? Right, and the job of prime minister is the most important job in the country, right? And if you're telling me that this prime minister, right, is the best that this country can do, then I feel so sorry for the people of this country, right? But then again, any of you that voted for Boris Johnson, you're fucking idiots. And yesterday's speech must prove that to you, because here's the thing: the speech at the CBI, yeah, is not supposed to be on the front pages of maybe the Financial Times, but none of the other newspapers. Not supposed to be anywhere near any of the newspapers. But do you know why that is? It's because we've got a complete and utter clown. Right, and the job of prime minister, right, can't be done by a fucking idiot. You can't have a clown doing the job of a prime minister. You can't get joke figures to do those jobs, right? Can you imagine, right? Even Donald Trump must have been looking at that for himself. God damn. Do you know what I mean? At least, right? You should be able to, you should be able to do something off the cuff, right? 21 seconds of dead air worldwide is not a good look. 5 or 6 seconds of dead air worldwide is not a good look. So imagine 21 seconds, right? I've got 21 seconds to go. Come on, man. Do you know what I mean? It's just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Right? I'm trying to think of what group done 21 seconds to go. It's completely gone out of my mind. Right? It's completely gone out of my mind. But that was Romeo and all that lot, do you know what I mean? But it's completely gone out of my mind, right? But so solid, yeah, so solid, isn't it? Yeah. right? Yeah, I've got 21 seconds to go. Come on, man, 21 fucking seconds of dead air. Imagine if I was out in a club and I just like, oh my God, I had 21 seconds of nothing coming out of the mic, right? You know, I wouldn't even, promoters would just be like, well, yeah, we can't really have you back again yet because you know what, you left a load of fucking dead space, right? You know, if there's no music, say the music, say that the DJ pulls up the tune, right? Then no matter what I'm doing, if I'm on the mic, no matter what I'm doing, I've got to fill in now. So, do you know what I mean? So I've got to think of something to say immediately. Do you know what I mean? Because otherwise, right, the DJ's pulled up the tune and there's no noise, there's nothing. Just the crowd, just the people in the crowd. That's it. Right? So at that point, right, it's the MC's job to step in and fill in until the DJ has lined his tune back up to bring it back on again. You see? So, you know, your whole dead air, right? Boris Johnson surely should have been able to come up with a couple of quick whips, right, to get out there, right? You know, until he fiddles through his papers. This is like when Donald Trump walked up on his airplane, yeah, Air Force One, right, with toilet paper on his shoes. And you think to yourself, how much people have you walked past? These people must hate you. It's like someone must have mixed up Boris Johnson's papers, right? But then again, Boris Johnson probably was just like, you know, he probably was just at the CBI just winging it anyway, because that's what he does a lot of times. He just tries to wing it. But winging it, right, when you're under so much pressure, winging it is difficult, right? Because you see what's happened with Boris Johnson. Yeah, he's under so much pressure now, right, that he can't take that. He can't take all the pressure that he's under. And he's cracking, and it's just cracking up on him. Because otherwise, he should have been able to come up with some witty stuff, yeah, until he sorted through the paperwork. Because, you know, to speak on the mic, right, you don't have to look at the crowd to speak on the mic. You can speak on the mic while shuffling through these papers, right? You know, but the problem was, yeah, because his head is empty, right, and you know. To be honest, right, all his speeches are so fucked up, right, that I always thought that he'd done them off the cuff anyway. I didn't realise that this is all stuff that's written down. I didn't realise that at all. Do you know what I mean? I thought that he went and quoted Kermit the Frog, and that was just like off the top of his head. Right? And when he was quoting Peppa the Pig, you know, until he was ruffling through them papers and he lost his way, I was like, oh, he does like to. But then, you know, as a Prime Minister, yeah, someone probably would have written his speeches for him. Do you know what I mean? But then no one could have written his speeches. There's no one, right? There's nobody who would write a speech, yeah, for a Prime Minister and put anything about, you know, Kermit the Frog or Peppa Pig or say to the Prime Minister, the best thing you can do is make the noise of vroom, vroom, vroom. That's the best thing you can do. There's no one, right, who's going to write that speech. Right. And if they did, right, they deserve to be taken to the tower. And I think you know the rest. But that's what they deserve. Right? You know, they would deserve, right, the same fate, right, as one of Henry VIII's misses. That's what they would deserve. Right? Because that's taking the absolute piss. So I could only imagine that Boris Johnson has written this and he hasn't given it to anybody to proofread for him. Because anybody proofreading that would have said, well, listen, you know something, Prime Minister, you don't really need to be speaking about Peppa Pig. You don't need to be speaking about Kermit the Frog. Right? You're speaking in front of some of the world's most influential fucking people. What the fuck is wrong with you? Right? This is who you voted for? Right, and I'm quite sure, right, that you know what you was voting for. And you know what it's like, isn't it? Right? Leave him alone. He's doing his best. Okay. And let's talk about some Brexit. You know, the French fishermen, yeah, aren't joking now, because any time now, yeah, they're gonna start some blockades because something's going on. Do you know what I mean? It all went quiet for a little while, but something's going on. Do you know what I mean? Because like the Telegraph, I just read in the Telegraph a little while ago that the French fishermen are not happy, right? So something's going to go on there. Do you know what I mean? And and if it starts for us, in December, then phew, it's going to be real problems because they're going to really go for it. They're going to block up like the tunnel. They're going to block up the ferry ports. So they're going to make sure that there's a lot of food that we can't get in over Christmas. Do you know what I mean? So we might all have to have our Christmas day on the 27th. You never know. These things. Do you know what I mean? And post Brexit, right? Britain tried to lure some of the Nobel Prize winners to this country. Right? I said, you know what, yeah, Nobel Prize winners, you can get a free pass and come here to live, work. You know what I mean? You're a Nobel Prize winner, right? And we want you here. But the only problem is, yeah, none of them want to come here. They're just like, I ain't going to that racist island. What the hell am I going there for? Right? To go and get my ass racially abused, right? Because I'm black, because I'm Asian, because I'm speaking a foreign language? No. The hell they're gonna come here for? See, I keep trying to tell you people, yeah. Here's the thing, right? Britain can't attract shit anymore. It can attract shit because we've got a lot of that pouring into our rivers and our waters. So it can certainly attract shit, right? But it can't attract, right, any influential people, any big business or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? I know I believe Shell have just come and Brexit bonus. I believe Shell has just come and set up over here, yeah. But Shell's only come and set up over here because they know they can just take advantage right now. They know that. They can just take full advantage, right? And in a couple of years' time, yeah, Shell is just going to be saying to the government, you know something? If you want us to stay, right, then you know something? You need to give us some money, or we're going to go. We're going to have to go into the EU. That's what they're going to do. A couple of years. Mark my words. That's how it's going to work. Do you know what I mean? So they're trying to get people to come over here, right? Nobel Peace Prize winners. They come to Britain to live in Britain. You can have such a nice life. And you're like, no, I want to go there. The hell do I want to go there for? They're not in the EU. Right? Well, why would any of them want to come and live here? I mean, you just tell me that. What the fuck has Britain got to offer? Britain has got nothing to offer. None of these business, no big business, got nothing to offer them anymore. Right? Maybe a free port. But I mean, from the free port, yeah, can they get their goods straight into the EU? No, but they can from Ireland. Yeah, and you know who else is really benefiting as well? Right? Motherfucking Estonia. Estonia, yeah, apparently, yeah, is a lot of the digital media is setting up in Estonia, especially that a lot from over here has gone and set up in Estonia, and Estonia as well. Obviously, Estonia is welcoming them, and apparently their revenues have gone up like 60%. Do you know what I mean? With business what they've managed to get from Britain. So another Brexit bonus just for Estonia. But you know what? At least Shell is coming over here. I don't think that's a fair exchange. And if you do, then you're fucking sick. If you think that's a fair exchange, right? But anyway, right, as I said, right, Britain can't lure anybody. The French fishermen are just about to fuck us up, right? And Brexit is a slow bleed, right, for the City of London. City of London is being crushed. It's been smashed to pieces. The City of London. I mean, them guys haven't got a clue because the problem what they're facing here is that the EU, right, can control all of that, and they're bringing in new rules, right, to make sure that they can control the financing in the City of London. Talk about sovereignty, eh? So where's your sovereignty gone? I'll tell you where your sovereignty's gone. Your sovereignty is in France, right, and your sovereignty, right, is in the EU, right, because between them two, right, they hold 50% of our sovereignty. Right? You know, on the back of the sovereign, when Charles comes in, it's probably going to have the EU flag on the back of the sovereign. That would be funny. Actually, it would be funny. Anyway, guys, listen, yeah, this is By Any Means Necessary. I'm the MC John Ribs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.